Let's talk about love. Is it anything and everything you offer? I didn't feel it on you. I didn't feel it on you.
Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be doing another makeup tutorial. Obviously this one is kind of my prelude to Valentine's Day. It wasn't supposed to be as like pinkish rose goldish, but I picked up, of course you guys, I picked up another Stila Magnificent Metals glitter eyeshadow. This one is in the shade Wanderlust. It's one of their newer shades, and it is such a stunning shade. It reminds me a lot of my background where it has some greens and some purples, or I'm sorry, some greens, some blues, and some pinks. Like, it's a very multi-dimensional like liquid glitter eyeshadow, but when I paired it up with this like rosy, kind of dusty, dark pinkish kind of shade, it turned on a little bit more rose gold. So I am really loving this look. You can of course switch it out with a darker vampire lip if you want to. I just figured I'd go with something a little bit lighter, a little bit more dusty, so the eye look is really the focus. But nonetheless, this is the look. I'm just obsessed, you guys. Like, I am thoroughly obsessed. I also wanted to ask you guys if you guys wanted me to do a detailed how I cut out my crease, not how I cut out my crease, but how I make my eyelid appear so large, because you guys are always telling me in my videos how you wish you had as much eyelid space as I do. But personally, you guys, I don't have a lot of eyelid space. I fake it till I make it, and I show you guys in this video the little bit of eyelid space that if I did exactly what my eyelid space was, that's how much it would show. And then I show you guys how I go above it. But if you want a detailed video, please let me know. I already have one, but I'll make a new one if you guys are interested. But nonetheless, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Mwah. Bye, guys. Hi you guys, welcome back. So to start, I'm going to use my MAC ProLong Wear Concealer in the shade NC45 to prime my lids. This also hides any discoloration that's on my lids, so I just use that with a big fluffy concealer brush, blend that out, and then I set that with a MakeupForever, just a translucent like mattifying setting powder. And then I go into the Morphe 35o2 palette, and I take the shade Risky, which is this really pretty, like, I don't know, it's like a berry kind of color. It's like a berry pink color, so I apply that into my upper crease, and then I take the shade right next to it, which is Chestnut, which is a little bit more pinkish, a little bit darker of a shade, so I apply that with a Kylie blending brush right into the socket of the crease, just to kind of darken it and make it a little bit deeper. And then after that, I just take a little bit more of a Risky on the Pretty Bar blending brush and just buff those two shades together. And now I'm taking the shade Brunette, which is not, it's a brown, but it kind of looks a little bit purple, so it's a really deep, like, purpley brown, and I apply that in my crease with a Scent Pro blending brush, and I just work that into the crease and just, you know, go back and forth and blend it out. I don't worry too much because the shade is going to get covered up by the Stila Magnificent Glitter eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Wanderlust. And right now I'm showing you guys how my eyelid would look if I applied it just directly to where my eyelid space is, which would be just like this. That is how much would show. So here I am just taking it a little bit further. I'm taking it right up into the socket of the crease, and I take it up as far as I can go without it looking, you know, really weird, and just start to kind of carve out that half cut crease. I am doing a half cut crease just because I want the focus to mainly be on this glitter eyeshadow, but you don't have to do a half cut crease. You can do a halo eye, you can do whatever you want to do, but right now I'm just kind of patting out the edges to blend the edges, so that way it's not like a harsh distinct line. And then I take a little bit more Brunette in that same Pro blending brush and just go over the edge, because some of that Brunette shade got covered up, so I just kind of carve it out over the top of the glitter eyeshadow. And we are going to move on to the face. So for skin, I'm priming my skin with the Benefit Porefessional Pearl Primer. If you haven't seen the review on this, go ahead and check that out. I will have that listed at the end of this video if you haven't seen that already. I'm liking the primer. As I mentioned in the video, it's very similar to the original. It's just a little bit more radiant. And now I'm using my CoverFx Natural Finish Cream Foundation in the shade N100. Perfect foundation. Like, this is my go-to foundation. It gives me such flawless skin and coverage, and everything just looks so beautiful. So I'm using that with a round F82 Kabuki brush from Sigma, and then the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Fawn. I wanted something full coverage. I wanted this look to be really full coverage, really glam, because it's, you know, pre-Valentine's Day, you guys. You want to look your absolute best on that day if you do decide to go out. I'm going to blend that out with a beauty blender and then set that with the Sacha Buttercup setting powder. You want to make sure that you set your concealer. You can bake it, you can just press it into the skin with the beauty blender as I do, but you really want to make sure that you set any kind of cream and concealer. And lately I've been loving using the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder in medium deep, and I just powder that all over the perimeter of my face. I don't cover any of the parts where I concealed, just all of the cream foundation. It just helps going in with my contour, which is a Nikki Garret contouring palette in the shade Deep Dark, and this just helps it contour, helps my contour slide on so much easier, and it also helps my foundation to slide, you know, stay on and not slide off. Now I'm using a Sacha powder blush, and this is in the shade Barely Plum. It's one of my all-time favorites. And then today I decided to go in with the Diamond Glow powder in Le Bronze by Jackie Aina. I didn't get Le Peach. Just personally, I just didn't have the funds for it. If I could have bought it, I would have, but I just have Le Bronze for now. And then I go in with MAC's Oh Darling just to give me a little bit more of a pop, because Le Bronze is a little bit, you know, more rose gold-ish, so it blends in with my blush. That's why I applied it right over the blush, and then I applied Oh Darling in my normal highlighting areas. And here I am using a E39 Buff and Blend eyeshadow brush from Sigma and just contouring down the side of my nose, just really snatching the nose, and then taking more of Oh Darling with a pencil brush and just going down the side, the tip and the bridge of my nose to further slim and highlight that down. And then lately I've been loving applying extra Sacha Buttercup setting powder along the side of my contour. This just really slims it down and kind of narrows the contour, just in case I went, you know, all over the nostril areas. It just kind of covers that. And then now I'm using my Tarteist Lash Paint Mascara, which I've been obsessed with for the last month. So we are done. Let's move on to the eyes. Again, we're going to use the shade Chestnut again with the same Kylie blending brush, and the main reason I'm using this Kylie blending brush is because I really wanted that smoked out. And then here I am using a E30 pencil brush from Sigma in the shade same brunette shade, and just kind of connecting that out to the outer edge. And then I am taking MAC Oh Darling for the inner corner, just because it was really light and kind of frosty and champagne-y. And then whatever's left on the brush, I just run a little bit under the brow bone just to give it a highlighted look, because I've liked doing that lately. So for lips, I'm using Veronica, which is an Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick. This is the first shade I'm going in with. This is going to tie in with that kind of pinkish shade that we applied into the crease. I wanted something a little bit darker and more plummy, but this worked for me. I also went in with Stripped, which is a little bit lighter, more of a pale nude, and just applied that right into the center of the lip. This is going to give kind of like an ombre effect. Not too much of an ombre effect, but just enough. But after that wraps up my video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Mwah. Bye, guys.